Hello again, my DIY loving friends. I'm Sarah, and this is Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. Today, we're diving into some amazing Dollar Tree DIY decor hacks that are perfect for the holiday season. Whether you're looking to spruce up your space or create something special on a budget, I've got some easy and fun hacks that you'll absolutely love. So what are we waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this DIY, I've got this roll of paper raffia from Amazon, and I'll link it for you below, but you can get bundles of loose raffia from Dollar Tree if you prefer. I unravel the paper raffia into this kind of onion skin texture, and I'm going to unravel a very long piece, which I can then cut into 3 very long pieces of unraveled raffia. I take my 3 long pieces of unraveled raffia and tie a knot at the end, and I'm going to do a simple braid with the 3 pieces all the way to the end, which leaves me with this very long raffia braid. I have this ornament-sized foam ball, like the kind that you can find at Dollar Tree. I'm going to take a scissors and make a shallow hole at the top of the ball. I add some hot glue inside the hole I made, and I'm going to stuff one of the ends of the braided raffia into that hole. Then, using hot glue to secure it, I begin wrapping the braid in a circular motion around the foam ball, flattening the braid as I go, and doing my best to keep the wrapped rows straight. I'm going to wrap the entire ball from top to bottom, and then create another shallow hole at the bottom and trim my braid, then stuff that other end into the bottom hole with some hot glue to secure it. I have this extra thick jute twine, and I'll link it for you below, but you can use the thinner nautical rope or the regular jute from Dollar Tree to do this too. I cut a piece to fit around the ball, and starting at one end, I unravel the jute just to make it flatter and glue it down to the ball in a straight line going all the way around the ball to meet the beginning again, and flatten that end by unraveling it. And I glue it in place, basically just dividing the ball into 2 sides. I take a second piece of jute and attach it to the ball going in the opposite direction, essentially creating 4 quarter sections of the ball, gluing that second piece of jute the same way as the first. Next, I have this roll of white macrame cord, and I'll link it for you below, but Dollar Tree does have white kitchen type twine that you could use instead. I hot glue a piece of the macrame cord against the jute on both sides of it, as you see me doing right here, just sort of framing in that piece of jute. I do the same thing with the second piece of jute, framing it all in with some more macrame cord on both sides, and then securing it all with hot glue. I use some more thick jute wrapped in a circular motion over the top of the ball where all the jute and macrame cord meet each other to cover up all those edges and to make the top of the ball a bit neater. I'm only doing about 4 or 5 rows down onto the body of the ball. I have this tiny wood ring from my stash, and I hot glue it to the center of the bottom of my ball so it sits upright. Next, I take a piece of thin twine and string a loop of it through this large wood bead, like the kind you can get at Dollar Tree, securing the bead with a knot and leaving a loop at the top to use as a hanger. I hot glue the bead and the bottom knot into the center of the top of my foam ball, nestled into that top wrapped ring of jute. I take a piece of leftover braided raffia and attach a ring of it around the bead, hiding that seam between the bead and the jute for a more finished look. I take a second piece of leftover braided raffia and attach that around the tiny wood ring on the bottom of the ball, hiding that seam between the ring and the ball. I had this little wooden person in my stash, and I decided to glue him inside the tiny wood ring on the bottom of the ball as a finishing touch. Then, because I just don't know when to stop, I glued one more piece of jute around the wooden person, covering the seam between him and the tiny wood ring. And this is my boho neutral vibed jute and raffia ornament, perfect for that more natural style Christmas tree. This kind of ornament is definitely more of my kind of style. It could also work well for a coastal or nautical themed holiday decor. Cheap, easy, and lovely to look at, and that's not the name of my new autobiography, but a perfect description for this holiday decor project. I'm sorry, that was in poor taste, but let's move on. For this DIY, I was inspired by this ornament on the Pottery Barn website, and I'll show you a picture later. I used the actual item picture as a template and taped it to a piece of this flexible cardboard that I think came with something I bought. It was scrap cardboard in my stash, and it's kind of plastic coated, so it's flexible but more durable than cardboard, but you can definitely use regular poster board or cardboard to do this too. I used the template to trace and cut out the snowflake shape onto this cardboard. I've got this roll of thin jute, like the kind you can get at Dollar Tree, and the plan is to wrap the entire cardboard snowflake with the jute. I am starting with the 6 flower petal shapes. I glue the jute on the back of the petal and begin wrapping the petal from the bottom upwards using hot glue to secure it in place as I wrap. Also gluing the sides too, as the shape of this petal becomes more rounded at the top. And then at the top of the petal, I cut the jute and secure the end to the back of the cardboard snowflake. I do the same thing for the next 2 petals the same way, and then off camera, I wrapped the remaining 3 petals the same way as well. Next, I wrap the circle in the middle of the petals, gluing the end of the jute to the back first, and then wrapping the jute in a circular motion starting from the end of the petals and ending in the middle of the circle, cutting the jute and securing the end into the middle of that circle. Then I start wrapping the long straight lines that are jutting out from the circle by first gluing the jute to the back of the snowflake to secure it, and then wrapping from the bottom of the line to the top, and then securing the end again on the back of the snowflake before moving on to wrapping the little lines coming out of those longer lines. Also wrapping them the same way. I think you get the picture. I do that on all 6 of the lines surrounding the snowflake until everything is wrapped with jute and no more of the white cardboard can be seen from the front. With everything covered in jute, the snowflake, frankly, was kind of floppy and not sturdy enough to be an ornament, so I decided to use these wooden coffee stir sticks I had lying around, but craft sticks would work for this just as well. I cut the sticks and glued them to the back of the snowflake on all those longer pieces that I wanted to remain stiff, and that seemed to do the trick. I glued a piece of jute to the back to use as a hanger. I decided to cover up the mess that was going on in the back of the snowflake by gluing the back to a piece of brown craft paper and then simply trimming away the excess craft paper for a neater look overall. I wanted to embellish the snowflake a little differently than the Pottery Barn original, so I grabbed this tiny wood ring I had painted already. It was in my stash. I hot glued that to the middle of the center circle of the snowflake, followed by this large wood half round placed inside the ring, and then 6 small wood half rounds that were each placed on the ends of the petal shapes, but those embellishments are totally optional and not part of the original design. And this is my Pottery Barn dupe jute snowflake ornament, and here's a picture of the original from the Pottery Barn website, and I really like mine better, just my opinion. A really high-end looking holiday ornament made out of jute and scrap cardboard. Truly the best kind of designer dupe DIY. For this DIY, I have this small foam cone that's kind of beat up, but that's okay for our purposes. The first thing I'm going to do is give it a coat of this apple barrel paint in the color brown oxide, which I'll link for you below, just to get rid of that white color. It doesn't have to be a great paint job. Next, I have a pack of these bamboo skewers from Dollar Tree, and I'm using my favorite clippers, which I'll link for you below, to cut the whole pack of skewers in half. I measured about 2.5-inch rows on my cone, a little more on that top section, and marked them off with some thin painter's tape. These are just guides, so the measurement does not have to be exact. Using some hot glue, I'm going to attach those half skewers going all around the cone just above the taped line that I had marked, but all at uneven lengths because I want them to be kind of randomly jagged on the bottom. Once that first row is filled in, I start filling in the second marked row using the taped line as a guide and still attaching each skewer unevenly and randomly so that the ends will all be uneven. I do this until the entire second row of skewers is filled too. The third row, we are going right up to the top of the cone, even though the video is cut off at the top, and I apologize for that, but you will have to take my word for it that I fill in the top of the cone the same random uneven way, and at the end I trim off the tops of all of the skewers to make them even with the top of the cone. So uneven bottom, but even tops, and hopefully that makes sense to you. I'm using a mixture of faux gras antique wax and plain water to dilute it to paint all the bamboo skewers on the cone, doing my best to get in all the little nooks and crannies of the skewers, including turning it upside down to paint the underneath too. I had these 2 painted wood stars in my stash, and I glued a toothpick between the two to be able to stick them into the top of my foam cone. Meanwhile, I grabbed one of these tiny wood rings and attached that to the top of the cone to camouflage the jagged skewer edges at the top. Then I stuck my toothpick and stars right into the top of the cone. Lastly, I had this tree slice, like the kind you can get at Dollar Tree, and a piece of a large branch, like the kind you can sometimes find in your backyard. I glued the branch to the tree slice and then glued my foam cone tree bottom to the top of the tree branch. And this is my bamboo skewer Christmas tree, and she's not perfect, but she is a cute little rustic tabletop Christmas tree that will work for your neutral or rustic holiday decor. I think you can dress her up with maybe some beaded garland or fairy lights, or leave her au naturel. The choice is yours. Thanks for joining me on this creative adventure. I hope these Dollar Tree decor hacks inspired you to get crafty and make your home festive without breaking the bank. Let me know in the comments which DIY was your favorite and why. You know I love hearing from all of you. If you enjoyed these easy DIYs, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Medicated Housewife DIYs for more budget-friendly decor ideas. Until next time, remember that together we're making the world a more beautiful place, one DIY at a time.